Hey everybody. So I blame quarantine because I'm not the only one shopping for books. Hence this huge pile. I don't know who to blame. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I have not even a little book haul, not even like a good book haul with a good excuse. I have hopped on, thrown myself upon the let's buy books during quarantine bandwagon. And I have 3 piles to share with you. And I have 3 more boxes of things to come. Somebody please stop me now. Please, because these are full. Ugh. Anyways, let's just get started. Otherwise this video is going to be way too long. So the first book I want to talk about is Always a Bridesmaid by Cindy Madsen. This actually comes out May 26th. So not that long, not far from now, a few days. And I want to thank Entangled Publishing for sending me a copy of this. I've already started reading it. It is super, super sweet. So this follows our main character, Violet. She has been a bridesmaid like, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. But she just knows her wedding day is coming. She has been dating her longtime boyfriend for a while, and she knows the ring is coming until it doesn't. And he ends up breaking things off with her, and I think for somebody else. Like I said, I just started reading this. But she's cool. She's gonna get through this because she has her photography business. She's also helping her sister redesign her bakery and kind of getting that off the ground. Finds out that her longtime boyfriend's getting married, and on his wedding day, kind of sort of accidentally sets fire to the bakery. Accidentally, kind of on purpose. And ends up meeting Ford, who is a firefighter who kind of reports to the call, and he's very into his job and very serious about his job and not ready for anything, but sparks kind of fly between those two, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. But I like this cover, it's kind of cute. But thank you again, Entangled Publishing, for sending this to me. We're gonna keep reading that. I'm hoping to have it done by the release day. Then where do we go? Let's see. How about Book Outlet? Let's talk Book Outlet. Let's talk about how fabulous their book selections were for the month of May. All of them. All of them. So I bought 4. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine, right? And I'll tell you why. And it seems to be that either people loved all of the selections this last month, or no one liked any, or you didn't like any of them. Like, there wasn't any middle ground from what I was hearing. So comment below, let me know what book of the month club book you ended up picking, because I liked all of them. First one is Happy and You Know It by Laura Hankin. And I like the blurb in here. It says, a dark, witty page-turner about a struggling young musician who takes a job singing for a playgroup of overprivileged babies and their effortlessly cool moms, only to find herself pulled into their glamorous lives and dangerous secrets. And that's all I had to know. The next one I picked up was The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd. So this explores this idea of, what if Jesus was married to, and his wife Anna was a feminist? What would have happened? That's really all I know about it. That was enough to interest me, so I picked that up. And of course I had to grab A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreet. I read her other book, Reconstructing Amelia, and enjoyed it. This one sounds a little dark and twisty-ish. I know nothing about it, and I don't want to know anything about it, so unfortunately I can't tell you much about it. There isn't even a little blurb I can sneak and tell you, so I like to go into these books blind. That's my plan. And then the last one I grabbed from Book of the Month is The Knockout Queen by Rufi Thorpe. This follows our 2 main characters. We have Bunny and we have Michael. I believe they live next door to each other. Bunny is the princess of North Shore. She's beautiful, tall, blonde. She has a very rich real estate developer as a father and a swimming pool in her backyard. Michael has a ponytail down his back and a septum piercing, so a little bit of a rebel. And he lives with his aunt in a very cramped cottage next to Bunny. When Michael is caught smoking in Bunny's side yard, he discovers her life is not as perfect as it seems. She dreams of standing out and competing in the Olympics, but yet she's desperate to fit in, to seem normal, and to get a boyfriend, all while hiding her father's escalating alcoholism. And Michael has secrets of his own, and I can only imagine what happens between those two. But that sounded good too. The next kind of few I got randomly. Maybe I'll put all my book outlet ones together and do these other ones. So I know I was talking, I don't know if it was a different video or if it was Instagram or something like that. It was a specific day I was talking, or somebody was giving me book recommendations, and they mentioned this book, and I literally went to the grocery store, and in the bargain bin was this book for $7. And I'm like, you know, I believe in signs, and it was a sign that I needed to own the book. So I bought it. It's Kate Atkinson's transcription, and it has this stupid sticker that's gonna take me a little bit to get off, but don't you worry. We'll get it off. So this follows, I love this storyline. So yes, World War II historical fiction. It starts out that way. So Juliet, this is like 1940s. She's recruited to be a spy in Great Britain and does that very well. And then after the war thinks that she can kind of walk away and be done with that piece of her life. And so she finds some success as a radio producer at BBC. And yeah, about 10 years later, she is confronted by some figures in her past and kind of is quickly learning that events of the past can still have consequences in the future, whether they happened during a war or not. So it sounds interesting, and it's smaller than I was expecting it to be. So I'm excited about this one. The next one I picked up on a whim. Again, probably an Instagram post I saw. I don't know what it was, but I grabbed this off of Amazon. The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Garrett Graff. So this kind of takes a look at the transcripts that haven't been published before, and very recently declassified documents, original interviews, oral histories of different government officials, first responders, witnesses, survivors, friends, and family members as they survived the attack on 9/11. So I've heard really great things about this book. And just the way it is written, it's written very much in like a transcript type form. I've heard it's hard to read, which is okay. But I thought this would be interesting not only for myself to read, but my husband as well, because he's a history buff, totally. So I picked that up. It's got some weight to it. Like, this thing is heavy. I mean, if I threw this, this would do some damage. I'm not gonna throw it, but just saying, it's a little heavy. The next book I picked up is Tom Hanks' Uncommon Type. This was in the free little library that's in my neighborhood. I have been walking basically on a daily basis. Not today, because it is windy and rainy and like, no. But pretty regular basis. And that little library is getting some traction. I've been putting some books in there, and they have been flying. I mean, I swear every day I go by it, it's different. So I snag what I can. I picked up Tom Hanks's book. It's a collection of short stories written by Tom, and I know that there's a typewriter, I believe, plays a role in each of the stories. I thought this would be cute just to kind of read a story every so often and get through it slowly. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, so I'm happy to have found it for nothing. And will probably make its way back into the free little library at some point, but I did grab it just to see what it's all about. So I've been making face masks for the last probably month or so. I think I'm up to almost 200 that I've made for my community, and I donated to the community. And one of my friends who is a nurse asked if I could make her one, and I did. And again, I'm not asking for anything in return. I'm just doing my part. And she was so sweet, and she dropped off a Barnes & Noble gift card for me because she knows me. So, you know, I wasn't gonna not use it. So I picked up 3 books, which of course was over my gift card limit, but who cares? and did curbside pickup, which was really sweet. Like, I'm gonna get spoiled with this curbside pickup stuff. I'm not gonna want to go in and shop in a store. I'm gonna want to just pull up and have them put stuff in my car. It's really kind of nice. Anyways, totally digress. We don't have time for digression. We have piles of books. Okay, first one I picked up was Good Girls Lie by J.T. Ellison. Actually, these two books I picked up because I attended Heather Gutenkauf's, I guess, virtual book release party. And J.T. Ellison was one of the co-hosts with her. J.T. Ellison, Lisa Unger, and Mary Kubica were there. So I had never read a J.T. Ellison book, and I thought, you know, I'm going to support my friends and their friends, and I thought I'd pick it up. So this one, it sounds like she seems like she writes thrillery books. So, and she's super cute. Like, look at her, super cute. This one takes place in a little Virginia town. The Good School is a very prestigious prep school known as a Silent Ivy. I don't know what that means. The boarding school of choice for daughters of the rich and influential. It accepts only the best and the brightest. Its very elite status and long-held traditions and honor code are ideal for prepping exceptional young women for brilliant futures at Ivy League universities and beyond. But a stranger has come to good, and this ivy has turned poisonous. I love me a good boarding school, like, thriller lately. I don't know why. I've picked up a few lately. That could be a video. There's an idea. And then, of course, I got Heather's new book, This Is How I Lied. 25 years ago, the body of a 16-year-old girl named Eve was found in the caves near her home in small town Grotto, Iowa, discovered by her best friend Maggie and her sister Nola. There were some suspects, including her boyfriend Nick, but not sufficient evidence, and the case pretty much went cold. Decades later, Maggie has been haunted by her friend Eve's death and that horrible night, and she is now a detective in that same city, 7 months pregnant, and is totally thrust back into the past when a new piece of evidence emerges and the case is reopened. It's Heather. It's going to be great. Can't wait to read that. And then my wonderful friend Amber, who has such book influence over me, it's kind of ridiculous. I'll put her Instagram link below. You really need to check her out because she's got awesome recommendations, but she basically made me put this in the cart as well. So we've got Shiner by Amy Jo Burns. So this takes place an hour from the closest West Virginia mining town. Teenage Wren Bird lives in a cloistered mountain cabin with her parents. They have no car, no mail, and no visitors except for her mother's lifelong best friend. Every Sunday, Wren's father delivers winding sermons in an abandoned gas station where he takes up serpents and praises the Lord for his blighted white eye, proof of his divinity and key to the hold he has over the community, over Wren and over her mother. Then one summer, a miracle performed by her father quickly turns to a tragedy. As the order of her world begins to shatter, she must learn the truth of her family's harrowing history in order to imagine a different future for herself. Amber said this wrecked her. I'm all about a book that is going to hit me that hard. So, and look at, but usually these little books, they pack big punches. So I'm excited for that. Okay, the rest I think are all from Book Outlet. Nope, they're not. One more I got off Amazon was Red Notice. This is by Bill Browder, and I got this because I want to read it for my friend that I work with. She's a finance geek like I am. I majored like in finance in school. I'm a total numbers, like, I know it doesn't, I don't know, totally finance geek. But her and I are both that, and we kind of have fun about that. But this follows, it's a true story, which makes it almost unbelievable, but it is a real-life thriller about an American-born financier in the wild east of Russia, the murder of his principled young attorney, and his dangerous mission to expose the people responsible in the Kremlin. So it's financier meets murder, and it all happened for real. True crime. True story of high finance, murder, and one man's fight for justice. So we're going to give this a whirl, and then I'm going to give it to Sarah and be like, you need to read this because we're going to geek out financially from the finance side of it. And of course it's a book about murder, which I like. Okay, the rest is all from Book Outlet. Oh Lord, we're at 15 minutes already. Oh, okay. The next book I picked up was Into the Bright Unknown by Ray Carson. This is the third book in it's the Gold Seer trilogy. The first one is Walk on Earth, a Stranger. This follows our main character, Lee Westfall. She has the ability to find gold. She has some sort of magic in her that she can seek out gold. And this all takes place during the gold rush. That's what the first book is about. And that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not even going to read what the third book's about because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I mean, hello. But it's a fantastic, fantastic trilogy. I can't wait to finish this now that I have the next one because anyways. Next one I picked up was At the Wolf's Table by Rosella Postorino. This takes place in 1940s in Berlin, Germany. So we follow our main character, Rosa. Her parents are gone. Her husband is off at war fighting for the Germans, I believe. And so she decides to go and move into the country and out of Berlin and live with her in-laws. All is fine and dandy until an SS officer shows up at her house and says, "You have been assigned to be a taste tester for Hitler." So Hitler was a very paranoid person. He thought people were out to kill him all the time, which, hello, they were. And so he didn't trust anybody. So he had 10 people taste test all of his food before he ate it. Not all 10 of them did at a time. They were on a rotation, but Rosa becomes one of those. And so she quickly finds out that of these 10 people, about half of them are very faithful to Hitler and there to serve him truly, and the other half are like her, where they're not really, they don't sympathize with the Nazis, they do not see themselves as Nazis, and so there's some strife that happens in there, yet she's doing this to protect him. It sounds very, very interesting. Again, just a different take on World War II. I'm very excited to read this, and it's shorter than I thought it would be. I feel like my pile is gonna fall over. Let's keep going with series continuation. So we have The Night Country by Melissa Albert. This is a Hazelwood novel. Now I don't know if this is truly, it must be a continuation from what happened. So the, I can't think, Lindsey, words. The Hazelwood followed our main character, Alice, and it's kind of a fairy tale retelling. And so her and her mom kind of went through life as drifters. They were always kind of running away from something. And she soon found out it had something to do with this book that her grandmother wrote a long time ago called The Hazelwood, and then she realizes that the Hazelwood there's more to it than she really thinks there is. She knows there's running away from something, and then one morning she wakes up and her mom is gone and has been taken to the Hazelwood. She's been told not to follow her, but of course Alice doesn't listen, and she is on a quest to go and save her mom. That's the first book. This is the second book, and I love these. Their covers are just glorious. Oh, look at these end papers too. Does it have a map? Let's see. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it does. Ugh, Melissa, you let me down. Let's just keep going with the continuations of our series. Next one I picked up is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm kind of bummed. This is the only paperback of the whole series that I own. The only one. But beggars can't be choosers, right? So this is what our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our 6th book in the Throne of Glass series that follows our main character, Selena Sardothian, as she is in a competition to become the king's assassin. There is magic involved. There is this whole other world. There is a map in this book, I assure you, because I can't read her books without referencing the maps from time to time. So here's our map. This actually follows K.O. Westfall's story. He was the, I guess, main guard for the prince at the time, has known Selena this whole entire time. So I just finished reading Empire of Storms literally today. Fantastic. And Tower of Dawn follows K.O.'s story at the same timeline as Emperor of Storms is taking place. So I feel like I need to pick this up right away. In fact, I already maybe read like a little bit of chapter 1, but then there's part of me that's like, I'm not ready to commit myself to another almost 700-page book. So I don't know where it's gonna land, but I love this series. I love Sarah J. Maas, and I love how she takes me and literally transports me into this world that she has built. I can see it all. I feel like I'm there. I can smell it. It's just epic. And her battle scenes, like no other. So I'm excited to get to this one. And then I have Kingdom of Ash left. And then I'm done with this whole series. Let's place bets on if that's going to happen in 2020 or not. And then, of course, because I'm close to finishing a series, why not we buy more books in a series. So this is A Shadow Bright and Burning and A Poison Dark and Drowning by Jessica Cluess. So this is book 1 and book 2, and there is a book 3 that I still have to acquire. So this one, I'm just going to read back. It says, I am Henrietta Howell, the first female sorcerer in ages, the prophesized one, or am I? When Henrietta is forced to reveal her power to save a friend, she expects to be executed. Instead, she's invited to train as one of Her Majesty's royal sorcerers. Thrust into the glamour of Victorian London, Henrietta is declared the chosen one, the girl who will defeat the ancients. Bloodthirsty demons terrorize humanity. She also meets her fellow sorcerer trainees, handsome young men eager to test her power in her heart. One will challenge her, one will fight her, and one will betray her. So I don't know if I'm looking for something to like substitute once I'm done with Selena Sarathian and all of her fun stuff. I don't know, but it looked good. Maybe it was a cover by, I don't know. Next one I have, again, I've been hearing a lot of great things about. This is Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. This is also like a bit of a fantasy type book. So 3 girls are missing, one is returned, and a story begins. On a dark midwinter's night in an ancient inn on the River Thames, an extraordinary event takes place. The regulars are telling stories to while away the dark hours when the door bursts open to reveal a grievously wounded soldier. In his arms is the lifeless body of a small child. Hours later, the girl stirs, takes a breath, and returns to life. Is it a miracle? Is it magic? Or can science provide an explanation? These questions have many answers. Some of them are quite dark indeed. Those who dwell on the riverbank apply all their ingenuity to solving the puzzle of the girl who died and lived again. Yet, as the days pass and the mystery only deepens, the child herself is mute and unable to answer the essential questions. Who is she? Where did she come from? And to whom does she belong? Yeah. So that's all the magical ones I got. Then we get into some contemporary and some thriller. I'm all over the board. So the next one I picked up was The Accidental Beauty Queen by Terry Wilson. This sounds kind of fun. So this follows Charlotte. She's an elementary school librarian. Her life revolves around her books. She's very kind of stays to herself. She's fine being alone. She's just the quiet girl. And very opposite of her identical twin sister, her name is Ginny. And Ginny is an famous Instagram beauty queen, I guess. And her only like goal in life is to become be crowned Miss American Treasure. But Ginny has a bit of a face-altering allergic reaction the night before the pageant. And so then she asks Charlotte to fill in for her. A little switcheroo, sounds like they've done it before. And now Charlotte has to kind of take over for Ginny and really be outside her comfort zone. So it sounds interesting. It sounds like it might be a little bit quirky, a little funny. I am all about it. The next book I pick up, I feel like I have to go back on some previous videos because I feel like I've told you I was breaking up with JoJo Moyes. And ever since reading A Giver of Stars, I feel like I need to give her another chance. And so this is all because of you. One of you guys suggested that I give The Last Letter from Your Lover a try, so I'm going to do that. So this takes place in 1960. Jennifer Sterling wakes up in the hospital and remembers nothing. Not the car accident that put her there, nor her wealthy husband, not even her own name. Searching for clues, she finds an impassioned letter signed simply B from a man for whom she seemed willing to risk everything with. In 2003, journalist Eli Hayworth stumbles upon an old letter containing a man's ardent plea to his married lover. She becomes obsessed with finding out what happened to the couple. Perhaps if they lived happily ever after, her own complicated affair could have a happy ending too. A Brief Encounter for Our Time. This is a novel for romantics of every age. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if The Giver of Stars was an anomaly. I mean, I did enjoy Me Before You, but nothing really since then. So we'll try. All right, we've got a few left. We're good. Last Seen Alive by Claire Douglas. So this is a bit of, I don't know if it reminds me of like The Flat Share. It reminds me of like Lock Every Door, that type of a thing. But Libby desperately needs to hide. She needs to escape. She had some personal and public tragedy occur, and she feels like this opportunity to house swap with the Haywoods is pretty much everything she's asked for. So her and her husband pack everything up, and they go and trade their tiny little city apartment for a beautiful haven on the English coast. But before they can begin relax and work to heal their very fragile marriage, she makes some very disturbing discoveries about the house. She begins to feel like the house is threatening. She doesn't think they're alone. She thinks somebody is watching her. And she's also thinking that her husband is hiding something, and the paranoia starts to get the best of her. But is she just being paranoid, or something really going on? We'll see. And then the last book is Dear Daughter by Elizabeth Little. So this follows our main character, Janie Jenkins. She's the formal it girl. She's sly, stunning, and fresh out of prison. That's literally what grabbed me. 10 years ago, she was incarcerated for the murder of her mother, a high society beauty known for her good works and her rich husbands. Now released on a technicality, Janie goes undercover in a sleepy South Dakota town to chase down the one lead she has on her mother's death. The only problem, Janie doesn't know if she's the killer she's looking for. Sounds good, right? So then I picked up a few things kind of for the kids. So we are on a big Hamilton kick still in this house. We listen to the music all the time. We kind of talk about him. So I thought it would be fun to pick up this, the Who Was Alexander Hamilton, from that whole Who Was series. It's by Pam Pollock and Meg Belviso. So it talks about kind of his life and his timeline and who he truly was and what happened. So I thought this would be a good little history lesson for us. And then, of course, because we're trying to keep kids busy while, you know, work from home and school from home, these sticker mosaic books are amazing. Both of my girls love them, so I picked up the mermaid one as well as the cats one. So it's kind of paint by numbers, but you use stickers. So you have your image, and it has all these numbers on it, and then you go back to your sticker page and you apply the corresponding numbered sticker to here, and it makes something. So it's definitely one of those that, like, if you just need something mindless to do, they're little boredom busters. And so I picked both of these up for the girls, but they're super fun, and they were really cheap, honestly. I know that they're in like Target and Walmart has them too, but like I said, Book Outlet, way cheaper for both of these. So and then there's a few other books I got, but that's for another little project. You will see those videos shortly, and I also have 3 more boxes on the way. Anyways, if any of these books spark anything with you and you have never ordered from Book Outlet before, I have an affiliate link in the description below, and I believe you get $10 off your first order, which is, it's a lot. Yeah, because you get free shipping at $35, and I want to say I maybe spent 40 bucks on all the Book Outlet books I got. They were running some pretty good deals. I think they're still at 15% off the whole site right now. So if you've never ordered before, what are you waiting for? The link's below. Go fill up your cart. And if you have ordered before, I'm sure you filled up your cart again, so you might as well just buy it, because what else are we gonna do in quarantine but read? All right, this has been long enough. Comment below, let's chat about books. Tell me, are you on a book buying bandwagon with me? Please tell me I'm not alone. And let's chat about that below. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.